Atlassian's Assets app is great for keeping track of data within your organization, be it employees or the devices that they use every day. Recently, Atlassian introduced a new dashboards feature which lets you visualize all of this data that you're already capturing. Let's take a look at some example schemas and how you might be able to use these dashboards to get better insights into your data. When you land in Assets, you're likely going to land here on the For You page. Let's go to our schemas so that we see the data that we're working with. In this example demo environment, I've got a number of different schemas that we can access. The ones that I'm most interested in today are both the IT employee assets and the people schemas. Inside of the people schema, we've got a number of different objects that we can look at. Again, the one that I'm interested in right now are the people objects. These objects themselves capture a wealth of information about the different users at our organization, anything from their full name to the organization they work in, department, their employment status, as well as the region, type of contract that they work, all of that. Lots of information here that we can pull lots of different insights from. Let's go take a look at one of the demo dashboards that I've created that takes a look at this people information. This is an example dashboard here with a number of different gadgets that help to visualize the information that we have available. This includes an overall summary of the people that work at our organization based off of if they're active, currently onboarding, or have departed. We can see different people per region, so we can identify we've got quite a number of people here in the Americas. And then we can also identify when people's start dates were to get a graph of how many people we're hiring per calendar year. If I scroll down, I've got some additional information here, some pie charts that identify the breakdown by country and breakdown by department, as well as a two-dimensional chart here that helps to identify the country that people work in as well as their active status. One of the additional features that we have on dashboards is the ability to filter data. That's up here in this filter option. Once I click this, I get the options for all of the different attributes that I've configured. In this case, I've configured country and status as the two default options for this entire dashboard. So if I come into the country and I filter this by USA and save that filter, everything that's on the dashboard is now going to respect that filter. So we're only going to see data related to the US employees. So we can see our active users dropped significantly. We're only seeing the Americas region. Hires dropped significantly. And of course, USA is the only country in our country breakdown. In terms of what you can put on dashboards, you have 5 options total. You have 2 different types of bar charts, horizontal and vertical. You have the line chart, which we saw here. You have the ability to put donut graphs. And finally, you have data charts. Each of these can be individually configured based off of your requirements. Let's take a look at what editing a dashboard looks like. If we come to edit, this is going to give us the ability to organize the information as we see fit. We can reorganize these gadgets just by simply dragging and dropping. That will change the order on our page. And for certain ones, we can make them larger or smaller by expanding the width. If we come in to edit one of these gadgets, what we can see is all of the options that we have available to us. So in this case, we're looking at the line chart, and we have selected the count of objects metric. In total, you've got 5 different metric types. This is going to depend on the different chart that you're looking at. Some charts have more information, some charts have less. Once you've selected the type of metric that you want to configure, you're going to want to choose your data source. In this example, we have the ability to choose from every single schema that we've got configured in Assets. And then once you're inside of a schema, you can choose what objects that you would like to display. You can select more than one. In this case, we have a scrolling list here to select as many as we need. As soon as you select all of the objects that you want to display, you're going to be given additional information on the layout of the chart, so what your horizontal or vertical axis might look like, and what attributes you're actually mapping. Additionally, you have the ability to add unique filters on specific charts. So for this chart specifically, if I only want to see anything newer than a certain year, I can come in here and add that filter in pretty easily by coming in, selecting start date, and configuring it to my needs. Finally, you have the ability to give each chart a name and a description, and then you can hit save and that will update it on the dashboard. Or if you're creating a new one, it'll add it. In terms of layout, we have the ability to select from a number of different sizes. In this case, we're looking at a medium size. Small reduces the height, and then going to extra large makes it extremely big. I'm going to leave this at medium for the time being. And then the same holds true for down here. We have the ability to reorganize our charts as we see fit, and again, expand or collapse the size of them based on our needs. Of course, you've got the ability to add widgets on the bottom in these in-between sections, or at the very top of the page with the Add Widget button. This brings us to the same view that we looked at when we were editing, except it's blank, as this is something brand new. You also have the ability to configure the page level filters by selecting the filter options here. In this case, you select the schemas that you're filtering against, and then you can add attributes down here based off of what entries you would like to provide filters for. So you can choose non-date attributes or date attributes if you want to filter based off of days. Adding these make these filters available to everyone in the system. So when they come to visit this, they will have the ability to filter this dashboard based off of the options available here. This is in addition to individual filters that may exist on individual charts. So keep that in mind. Once you're finished editing, you can hit done and you can share this link with everyone. Atlassian includes one basic dashboard that comes default with the system. When you create a new dashboard here, we have the ability to select both from a custom dashboard or a predefined service overview. I've already got one created. This is aimed towards ITSM teams utilizing Jira Service Management, as well as keeping track of the different services, applications, and capabilities that they provide support for. So as you can see, this is keeping track of how many of each of those different types we have configured, as well as the tier levels for all of the different services that we provide. And then we can see a bit more details here on the right-hand side. Again, like any dashboard, this is fully configurable. You can come in and edit this as you so choose, make these smaller, larger, what have you. With asset dashboards being a relatively new feature, there may be things that you try to do that are not available yet. If that's the case, I recommend reaching out to Atlassian using the Get Feedback feature directly on the page. It's found right beside the edit button here. Clicking that will give you the ability to give Atlassian direct feedback based off of the features that you're looking for, or if you find a bug. Otherwise, have a great time building your own dashboards and sharing them across your organization to get greater insights into your data.